This is the entrance of Jenin Freedom Theater. It was attacked and ransacked inside, and the director and his assistant, they were arrested. And the soldiers, they painted the Star of David inside the theater and outside, as you can see here. This is here Basil al-Araj, the Palestinian thinker who they assassinated. There was like a mural for him. They painted above him the Star of David. Hence the white people covered it. The other street you see also the Star of David ripping off the photographs of Palestinians, destroying the roads, bulldozer. This street, I think, many times was destroyed. The D9 bulldozer comes and carved it. The next day, the Palestinians at least make it straight so they can drive.
So this was paved entirely before the recent assaults on the Jenin camp began. This particular road, it was paved?
All of them. All of the streets.
Mm-hmm.
This is recurrent every time. And I believe this is the 35th raid since October. Every raid, major raid.
You're talking about the one that occurred this morning?
Yeah, this morning it was targeting individuals. So the destruction not in the infrastructure but inside the house. And they arrested father and two of his kids. We don't know why. We're gonna see. But they wanted specific members of the resistance movement, and they failed.
So let's go inside the Freedom Theater. So we are now entering the Freedom Theater.
So, yes, I came the next day and I found the Star of David here and here as well.
And when was this the theater established, and for what purpose?
It was established, I believe. I mean, the director is better to answer, but I think in the 80s, in collaboration between Palestinians and what's his name, Mer Khamis, who's the son of an Israeli amazing woman, activist. And it is a landmark. Yeah, and he speaks English, so you should be fine with him. Yeah, when I came, all this was upside down, everything. Everything. They're fixing it. مرحبا.
هلا شو الاخبار؟
شو يا اخي ولا بتحكي ولا بتطل ولا بتقول ولا
والله يسعدك رمضان. كيف حالك اليوم؟
Dimitri.
How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. Nice to meet you.
عندنا تدريبات برمضان واحد منتهي.
وصايمين؟
شو بدنا نعمل؟ عارفين نفطر هنا؟ صوم شنو؟ عارفين نفطر؟ كلمة الجوع.
هذا يمشي معك في المخيم. وين هيك؟ بس أنا مشي معك أو مؤمن. مؤمن. But it's okay maybe to have a 1 hour conversation with the manager. So tell me at what time maybe tomorrow you can be on the
So thank you for speaking with me today. Could you please introduce yourself?
I'm Ahmed Tobasi, work as the artistic director of the Freedom Theatre.
Could you tell us, Ahmed, first of all, a little bit about the history of this theater, who founded it and for what purpose?
It's a long story, we'll try to make it very short, but it started with a woman called Arna Mer Khamis. She has a very interesting background as a Jews, Israeli, who grew up, let's say, in 48, the occupied territories, and when she grew up, she got to know a lot of lies and fake stories that made by the Israeli Zionism to make these young people to kill Palestinians and take over their lands. So she decided to stop serving in the army, the Israeli army, and she became an activist for the Palestinian rights. And then she met a Palestinian man from Nazareth. They married. They had 3 children. One of them called Giuliano. And then in the first Intifada, when the education system collapsed, Arna Mer Khamis came to Jenin camp. She started to, bring colors, papers for the kids because the education collapsed. So they start to draw in the streets, make some activities for children, and then she won a Nobel Alternative Prize at that time. And with that money, they opened children's houses in the camp. Then her son, Giuliano, the middle one, started to come as an actor. He started to make a drama group and teach them theater. And then they made the first play ever by Ghassan Kanafani called The Little Lantern. And that group was in the drama group, the people, the guys, they grow up, and in the second Intifada, they become armed resistance. Most of them get killed, except Zakaria Zubaydi, which became the leader of Al-Aqsa Brigade in West Bank and wanted #1 for the Israeli army. And Giuliano came, he found the theater destroyed in the invasion, so he made a documentary called Arna's Children.
I'm sorry, so the theater was destroyed in the second Intifada?
Yes.
By the Israeli forces?
The invasion 2002 was called the Stone Theater because the Palestinians were fighting with the stones in the first Intifada, being destroyed in the invasion, and only one guy being still alive in that drama group called Zakaria, as I said. And in that time, Giuliano came to check the place, the people, and he made this documentary about that time. It's a very nice documentary. And then with Zakaria, they decided to reopen the Stone Theater with the Freedom Theater.
And what year was that?
And in 2006, officially, the Freedom Theater opened here as the Freedom Theater. From that time, it's a theater, it's a political theater, it's a critical theater, fighting everything's rights, and that's mean not many people like to talk about this. So in 2011, Giuliano being assassinated in the front of the theater.
Right here outside this building.
Outside the street in the front of the Freedom Theater, and that was a big shock, but we believe it deserves to continue.
Do you have any information about who?
No one said officially who's killed Giuliano. You see, all the intelligence, the Israeli intelligence, and they arrest most of the members of the Freedom Theater. They arrest a lot of people from the camp, but no one asked about Giuliano. There's no any information. And we're talking about the Israeli intelligence. They know what we dream. They know what we think.
Right.
They can read it, And there is no, they know the names of the mosquitoes. They are alive in here, in Palestine. the insects, they know where they are. So until today, all these years, no official answer from the Israeli side, from the Palestinian side, which is very clear. The one who killed Ghassan Kanafani, the one who killed Najib Ali, the one who killed Nizar Banat, the one who killed all the people. It's the same rules, the occupation rules on the floor. We believe there is one side, the dark side, we call it. It doesn't mean, it's not big different, the identity or the color or the flag, but it's the occupation, it's the stupid way of thinking, for sure. But for us, we know for me, it's an intelligence operation.
Understood.
In this way.
So I understand that you recently, following the October 7th attacks by Palestinian militants, that you yourself were arrested. Could you tell us when that happened, with whom you were arrested, and why?
After 7th of October, Jenin camp. It's before even 7th of October. Jenin camp was called like a little Gaza. From 2002, Jenin camp was already a lot of attacks until today, and we lived the invasions before even starting Gaza. But from 7th of October, they're coming every night to the camp, bulldozing, destroying. They want to punish, they want to revenge. They want to punish even Palestinian people who did not do anything to stop 7th of October. It's not about you are part of it, or you think about it, or you don't believe, or you believe in it. Anyone in this land that didn't do anything to stop or to fight even the resistance for the Israelis, you will be punished. So you see, now you're going to walk in the camp, you will see the Israeli signs. Star of David, number of 7th of October, you asked for war, we bring you war, we're going to come every night to punish you. The theater was, all the pictures were written on it. So people, you talk about a naughty guy got hurt with the ego. So you see how they react. So they want to punish us, they want to punish people, normal people, the community. They want the community to punish any resistance against Israel. So it was a very tough. I'm telling you, I don't think there is any place in this world live in this crazy situation. That you know that you can die in any moment just because you are Palestinian. Any moment. It's crazy to walk around, have the expectation, have the possibility that you will be shot or bombed or killed just because you are Palestinian and you are in Jenin camp. For me, that's a level that not all the human beings in this planet even arrive to that point. What is your fear? Your team lost in the game? What is your fear? Your girlfriend is not happy enough? What is your fear? That you will pay the internet and rent for your fancy apartment? People here, people in Gaza, they're looking for water. We don't sleep in the night. Until when, So for me, it's like, yes, it's about the West. It's all about the West. It's all about Europe. It's all about the white man. It's all about America, that they believe they are the first class people, citizenship in this world, and we are the servants. We are the victims that they can be die. All these wars happened in Afghanistan and Palestine. It's an American Western wars, but they do it in our lands. They support Israel as a military base for US and West in Middle East, in Palestine, and they don't want even us to say no, or like
right. The unsinkable American
yeah,
aircraft.
So America fight
yeah.
Iran, fight Iraq,
Yes.
fight Afghanistan, fight Russia, fight Syria, fight Muslims, fight ISIS, whatever they call it, and they fight it in Palestine, in Middle East, in Syria. They destroy our countries because they have a war. They fight in Ukraine. They destroy Ukraine. I'm sorry for Ukrainian people, because they believed America. They believed the West. They believe they're going to bring them something different from the reality they are. But look at them where they are now. They're stuck. And they will be stuck forever now. Because they believed the values of West. And West, America teaching us how to deal with women, how to deal with children, how to deal with sexual identities. You have UNESCO, Amnesty, United Nations, all these values. You teach us democracy. You teach us how to elect, to choose the right person. You do all of that. But Gaza, 7th of October, made all these
Collapse.
masks fall down. Make all these false lies to embarrass us as Palestinians, as Muslims, as Arabs. You spend maybe years trying to put this propaganda, Muslims, Arab, Palestinians, Africans, whatever, animals. We live in the safaris. We live in the forests. We don't know. I have iPhone 15. Normal, like any American with iPhones. We have internet, live. We all have theaters, actors, art, poetry, intelligent people. We draw, we dream, normal. But this white mentality colonization, that they believed always that the other people is more lower than us and we can do whatever, they can steal them, they can decide. 30,000 people die. Biden can decide. Israel, international law, 100, I'm not sure, 50, 45 country cannot tell Israel stop. Not to stop, stop killing people. Not stopping occupying Palestine. Not about that. Is stop making genocide. The genocide today happening online. It's the first genocide in history happening online. We're watching. Like we go to the news, we see all these videos, bombing houses, neighborhoods, people, thousands, kids. And we look at them online. Yes, Hiroshima happened. Yes, the African history happened. Yes, this is a long time. But after that, genocides, we made sure this thing should not be repeated. We made a law that things will not be repeated. But no, Israel, the Israeli soldier, come here, can arrest thousands of people, kill thousands of people, and no one can challenge and say no. No official, any official position in this world, whatever, wherever you are, you cannot criticize Israel.
And you were one of those people who was arrested. So could you just explain to us how that happened?
I was just back from France, come back from France one night after a big tour, very difficult, very emotional. I was very sick when I arrived home, sleeping in my bed. I had the cameras of the theater online. I was watching the army coming, goes. It was very heavy invasion in December, and we didn't know. I didn't know it's a big invasion. And then people called me that the army going through house to house. You talk about 3,000 soldiers in the camp. So I spent the whole night waiting them to enter because I don't want them just to storm in the house with the kids, with my family. So I was waiting them to come. I spent the whole night. In the morning, 11:30, they opened the door of my house, they stormed in. I went out quickly, told them like, please relax, there is nothing wrong here. We have a family and the kids, so please, slowly, whatever you ask, we will collaborate. Suddenly, 10 of them put the gun at me. They asked me to come to them, sit down, take off my clothes, and put me on the wall. And they come in screaming, swearing, very ugly. You know, I thought when I was young, I believed the aliens will attack the earth. And I was wishing this will happen so the humanity will unite it at least for something from outside. But I discovered we already have the aliens. The aliens exist in this fucking earth and can destroy it sooner or later in the stupidity what they're doing. So I see aliens, big soldiers, very well equipped, different things, and they are really monsters, savage. They enter the house, destroying everything, smashing everything, destroying our every electronics. My mom, they brought even the plants, destroy it, looking for what, I don't know. And then they brought my brother, they start hitting me. One soldier, when the soldiers came inside, they start hitting me in the stomach, on the head, and they took me outside, they put a costume, a military costume in me, and they start to take pictures, poses with me, with my brother, that we are like the terrorists, they catch the terrorists. So he will send his girlfriend that, look, I'm hero, I catch the terrorist in Jenin camp, which is no, it's a normal people. You put all this costumes to take pictures, to take videos, and yeah, that's what it has. And then they put me in a truck with other people. The truck drive us to Jenin. They throw us in the field. You know, it was very cold, December, raining, handcuffed, blindfolded, and thrown in the field in the mud. And then they took us to Salim, I think we discovered later, and they throw us on the floor without shoes, without jacket. Sick people, some old people, some people with special needs. I don't understand. It's really, and for sure, the picture, the memory goes back to the 2002, the same thing. The Israeli have the time, machine time to stop it, and it's like, fuck, 20 years back is the same thing. It's not like exactly, even more violent, more different modern style. There's drones now. You know, drones, bombing, and they don't need all the army to come in. They come when it's safe. But yeah, it's the same. I see children running in the street, people arrested, hundreds of people like sheep, driving us like a sheep, like animals, torturing us mentally, screaming with guns, touching you. They'll put you in the street and let the Markava or the tank pass, and you die. You die every second.
And how long were you held on this occasion?
I held in at least, let's say, 14, 15 hours. But for me, it was at least 15, 16 days. I don't want to say months. Very painful.
Were you beaten during the time that you were held then?
Yes.
And
you're not allowed to talk. You're not allowed to lower your head. You're not allowed to ask for toilet. You're not allowed to ask for water.
And when they released you, did they give you an explanation for why they were releasing you?
Nothing. Nothing.
Now I understand.
Who are we to tell us?
Right.
Not important. Right. Nobody will ask. There is no court will take the Israeli army.
And I understand that other people in the management of this theater were arrested at that time as well.
Yes, it's the same time. There's very funny story. We were in the phone, just texting each other about what we see from the camera, and we see the Israeli soldier here in the Freedom Theater courtyard. And we were sending messages that look at the army, and we sent each other pictures, and suddenly my door opened. And I didn't know Mustafa is arrested, but when I went back, I knew he's arrested.
And who's Mustafa?
Mustafa is the producer of the theater. And yeah, in the same day, now 3 months almost, we don't know anything about him. Anything.
You don't even know if he's alive?
No, he's alive.
You know that?
The lawyer said he's in this prison.
Right.
But nothing else.
Do you know whether he's been accused formally of anything?
They give him 6 months. They call it, I don't know,
administrative detention.
And this is an Israeli law that they can put you in, imagine, they can put you in prison without charge just because they think you are danger.
Do you know where Mustafa is being held?
I think maybe Majiddu prison.
Is that in Israel or is that in
it's
the
in the
West Bank?
48 occupied territories, which you call it Israel.
Yes, right. Here in the camp they call it 48. I take it.
We Palestinians,
yes.
We call it 48.
In general,
it's
right.
Because to remind people, it's this territory in 48. That's what makes difference.
Yes, understood. So when we were coming into the camp, and this is the first time I've been here, we came upon the site where an Israeli soldier murdered Shirin Abu Akleh.
Yes.
And Rehab showed me that across the street there was a site where I believe they were going to erect a theater, and they've turned it into a cemetery.
Yes.
Was that going to become was this theater going to be moved to that site? Was that the plan?
Not moved, but we were planning to build a new building.
Right.
Like a
larger
building, theater, built for theater, had a cafe, cultural theater, rooms for children to play, like to make a theater that we want and we dream to believe, and take it a bit outside the camp so kids can play, can scream, can run without make a headache for the neighbors. So that's the dream, and we bought a lot. We put a lot of money in it. It's a 45,000 dinar, and just bye.
Right.
It's very hard.
So what I saw there, just briefly looking at the site, looked like dozens and dozens of
and this
tombstones.
cemetery is 2 years. It's full. Right. Now they moved to our cemetery.
Right.
It's I'm in shock.
So do you know approximately how many camp residents have been killed by the Israeli forces since October 7th?
Not really, but at least last year it's already from 250 to 300 people. And
so when you say last year, you're talking about October 7th of last year?
Yes, not the whole, it's, and all of them is young people.
Right.
All of them young people.
Now, the Israelis would probably say they were all militants, but based on the information you have...
It's not important. For me, that it doesn't make it a big difference. We, in the international law, saying any community or group or people under occupation, they have the right to resist. We are under occupation. We are in our homes, in our country. We want to defend our people. Why it's acceptable for Israeli army to come to Jenin camp, kill people, to say they want to save their people, and we don't have the right to stand up in our own houses to defend our people? And yes, you should not forget history. And that's the problem. There is history. Why nobody think about history? The history says this is not your land. Showed in every way you want. History, geography, politics, whatever. There is Palestine, there is people, there is a language, there is a borders, there is everything is there. Everything is there. Mm-hmm. It's not about who's wrong, who's right, who have the right, who don't have the right. It's about you have the power, you have the military machine, and you have the support from the West who also controlling this world, and they are with you. That's it.
Right.
But you know it's not your land and it's not your right, and that's why you have all this military equipment. That's why you have the biggest tanks in the world. That's why you have that's why all the Israeli community are soldiers.
Right.
And that's for me another crazy point. Do the Israeli like their life like this? I really wonder. Like, you have all possibilities to enjoy your fucking life. You can travel to US, you can go to the Caribbean, you can go to Europe, you can travel, you can make time with your family, you can go around. Why you are here and you are scared, children are scared, and the problem is your life is full of hate. I mean, they hate us, yeah?
Yes, yes.
But that's also, I'm sure,
yes,
as a humanity, it's affect you.
Right.
You always think about me, you always hate me, and you always stressing with me, and you always afraid of any alarm or a bomb or a sound, and all your community is holding guns. Mm-hmm. You go in the supermarket, guns, in the street, guns, in the buses, guns. Even as a Palestinian, I don't like this kind of life. I will not live here, even in Palestine, if it is the same scene.
Well, I hope that the people who hear this interview, if they support Israel, will contemplate your question very carefully.
And for me, it's not about Israel or Palestine or support this or that. We want to move a little level up. We want to fight for this planet, for this humanity, for future, for children. We want to fight to make sure that all the children in this world born and raise up and grow up in a very healthy, normal situation. Each child has the right to grow up normally, fairly. Women, men, why we need borders? Why we need all this shit? We can travel around, we can go around, we can live wherever we want, marry. That's what nationalism idea problem that makes everyone fight for labels, for colors. Full of hate, world is full of hate. And all of that because it's America. That's the way to control this world. Divide and rule. Make visas, make borders, make Africa, make Asia, make Europe, make red passport, make black passport, make ISIS, make terrorists, make human, make heroes to control people. Mm-hmm. Even in America, even in Europe, there is poor people. There is people also second class. There is people who have to work for other people. So we're saying that, no, please do not fight for Palestine alone. It's not about Palestine. Yesterday was Ukraine. Before was Yemen, before was Afghanistan, before was, I don't know, Egypt, Libya. It's like, okay, and what is the end? And the same scenario, again and again. They say terrorists, they go attack, steal the oil, steal the gold, steal the money, and go back. We free the world. Who gave you the right to free me? Did I ask you to free me? Who gave you the right to teach me how I should deal with my own community and life? Did I tell you anything how to deal with your community and your life? No. Why do you think you have the right? Sometimes young people from Europe come here. Like, I think you should resist. Like, who asked you? How old are you? No. So it's very important really to make this humanity, this people in this earth, to really take care about the environment, take care about the rights, censorships, and fight for each other. Because today is Palestine, we don't know what is next.
Well, it's been a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk.
Welcome.